What's going on, guys, and welcome back to some more 2012 NFL offseason talk. And today I'm talking about a team that I'm really excited to watch this year, the Philadelphia Eagles. And of course, coming off a season last year where they underperformed and did not meet expectations at all, didn't make the postseason, although I was kind of rooting for them towards the end of the year because they had a shot but couldn't quite get into the playoffs. So this year, I think the Eagles will be a playoff team. Not sure if they'll win the NFC East because that division is just so jam-packed with tough teams, and that's one of my favorite divisions to even just watch play football. I mean, watching the Cowboys and the Eagles, the Giants and the Eagles, and now the Redskins are making it a lot more interesting with the acquisition of Robert Griffin III in the draft. And so the NFC East, it's a very entertaining division, and I like watching the Philadelphia Eagles a lot. So we look into this year, and we look back to last year at the same time, and I would say the weakest part of the Eagles roster last year was their linebacker core. I did not like any of their linebackers, really. And so this year, I think they did a great job in going out and acquiring some talent. Of course, Michael Kendricks in the second round of the draft, Fletcher Cox playing defensive tackle, Vinny Curry. They spent their first 3 picks on defense, and they got Brandon Boykin later in the 4th round. I think that's a very good valued pick at 123rd overall. So I think the Eagles had a very good draft and have some guys that are going to be contributors right away on this team. And before I forget, one of the first things I remember from this offseason that I still cannot quite understand was when the Texans flip-flopped 3rd-round picks with the Eagles, and the Eagles sent them a 4th rounder in exchange for middle linebacker DeMeco Ryans. That, I think, is just robbery from the Eagles. They just snatched DeMeco Ryans. I don't know how they got away with that. But anyways, a 4-3 team gets a middle linebacker like that. That helps them so much. He's a veteran, Pro Bowl caliber. And I think middle linebacker is one of the most important positions in a 4-3 defense. And so they get him, Michael Kendricks. This team should have a very good defense coming up this year. And their defense wasn't even ranked horrible last year. They were 10th against the pass, 16th against the run. They upgrade the front 7. Fletcher Cox, good fit for the wide 9 scheme. I've already talked about Michael Kendricks and DeMeco Ryans. I still question some of their secondary because I'm not a big fan of their safeties. And they traded away Asante Samuel, and I'm not a big Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie fan. But still, I think this team is going to be improved on defense this year, and I think they did a great job in the draft addressing their biggest needs first on defense. That front 7 had to get taken care of. And then there's another late-round pick that they got in the 6th round that I'm going to be looking at all year because I knew about this guy, and I thought he would go a lot earlier in the draft. But wide receiver Marvin McNutt out of Iowa. I really like this draft pick here because I think you got Jeremy Maclin and Deshaun Jackson. Those guys are fast. Those are your home run hitters right there at receiver. I would look at Marvin McNutt as being more of the chain mover. I kind of think of Jason Avant in this role, the guy who's going to get that first down on 3rd down. I'm not sure how accurate it is. Philadelphia Eagles fans, please tell me. But I think McNutt will end up being like the number 4 receiver. I haven't seen their depth chart at all, but I know they don't have a lot behind Avant and Maclin and Jackson. I know they got like Chad Hall, but I think McNutt is a very good receiver. I was watching him in the Senior Bowl because I thought he would be a draft pick the Vikings could look for, and he really did not play well at all. I don't think he even had a catch in that game. I think he had a drop in the red zone, actually. But he's 6'3", 220, I think. He's got good size. He's got decent speed. He can be a solid outside receiver. Good possession guy that can move the chains. And also on the offensive side of the ball, they had to pick up Demetrius Bell to play left tackle because Jason Peters, who had an amazing year last year, tore his Achilles. And so I think the Eagles will be a good team this year. I think they had a very good offseason getting the players that they needed, and they also traded away Asante Samuel. And we'll see if Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie and Brandon Boykin can help step up a little bit and help out Nnamdi Asomugha, who also had kind of a down year last year. Hopefully steps it up more this season. But I'm expecting big things from the Philadelphia Eagles. I'll be watching them pretty closely because I like watching them a lot of those NFC East teams. I love those matchups. I love when they're in prime time when I get to watch them on Sunday Night Football or Monday Night Football. But I think the key to the Philadelphia Eagles season this year is just no major slumps like last year, no long losing streaks, and just playing well within the division because those 6 games are all going to be very, very tough. And it also doesn't help that the Eagles have to play against the entire AFC North next year, the Detroit Lions as well, the Carolina Panthers, so a lot of tough games. I mean, I look at this year as there being a lot of very good teams in the NFL. It's really hard actually to pick a lot of these wild card spots or who's going to even win divisions because everything seems so much more competitive competitive than it ever has been in the past. I don't know if I'm the only one that realizes that or is thinking that way, but I just feel there's so many good teams, and there's a lot less bad teams, and there's still a lot of borderline teams that can be making big pushes this year like Carolina. But back to the Eagles, I want to see this pass offense kind of put some more points on the board. Only 18 passing touchdowns from Michael Vick last year. Of course, LaShawn McCoy is a big part of this offense. 1,300 rushing yards last year, 20 total touchdowns. The guy's a monster, one of the best running backs in the NFL, and probably I would call him the most balanced back as far as rushing and receiving goes. I mean, he had a great year last year. I expect nothing but the same for 2012. So I think the Eagles, guys, are going to be one of the top teams in the NFC. That's what I'm predicting right now anyway, despite a tough schedule, despite a very, very tough division. I think the Eagles are going to be a good team. They had, in my opinion, one of the best off seasons as far as acquiring talent for their biggest needs on defense. And I thought their offense was fine. Maybe add a role player like, Marvin McNutt, but I think they had the players they needed there. But defense clearly needed to step up. Linebackers last year were not very good. They had like Casey Matthews, and they had like Moises Foku. Not a lot of very good linebackers. But this year, I expect Michael Kendricks to have a very good year. I'm excited for him out of Cal, as well, of course, D'Amico Ryans, who they essentially got for a 4th-round pick. So anyways, guys, leave your feedback on what you think about the Philadelphia Eagles this offseason and how you think they will be in 2012. Right now, I'm predicting them to be a playoff team and a very strong one at that. I'm still questioning their secondary, but I think they're going to be able to be a good team despite the holes in their secondary, mainly safety position. But anyways, guys, leave your feedback, and I'll be back with some more NFL offseason talk here soon. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.